Dana Barrett asked Dr. Venkman, why do you like being a Ghostbuster? He replied, same reason I asked you out, 'cause busting makes me feel good.
Ugh, that's tasteless.
No, ma'am, that's tasteless.
Movie review, bitches!
But your way
with your bitch slap rapping in your cocaine tongue.
Welcome everyone, Tasteless Adjacent movie review of motherfucking Terminator 2. Poet, I don't fucking know it. Yay. And so Tasteless Adjacent, Jay Chowder here. We got Bone.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Slopdog.
I'll be back.
This movie, we sing a fucking stupid song that's related to the movie every episode just because it's fun to do. We don't fucking, people, you know, I don't give a fuck. You're like, that's fucking dorky. It's supposed to be dorky, you dumb cunt. It's just having fun. You don't have fun, motherfucker? Motherfucker, you don't have fun! And, what? Anyway.
Jesus.
But, fuck, Bone has, like, been up in the ante on these songs, like, trying to get him more, like, let's get it, like, kind of sounding good. Like, who gives a fuck? But, like, Bone made me laugh.
I'm just trying to count off and have us start at the same time. And I'm like, I start, I go, one, 2, 3, and then start, and then Chowder starts on 5. I don't let you fucking say it every fucking time. I think it's on purpose.
And Bone says this. Listen to this shit make me laugh. He's like, I think we should wait to do Annie until I'm not as sick anymore. That way my voice can be up to par.
I love Little Orphan Annie. That is a
life.
It's a hard knock life.
Let me tell you, when we eventually do Annie, I'm gonna fucking tell you yes. I mean, I like, I'll probably say this too, but just she's so irritating to me, Annie. I just want to grab her by that fucking ratty natty head she has and fucking throw her across the room. I know why she got abused. She's a fucking annoying. Sing a song about that, bitch.
Tomorrow.
Mop the floor with your fucking tears, bitch.
That's a good movie. Coming soon.
All right, Terminator 2 is what we're talking about, though, folks. Terminator 2. We're gonna rap about the movie. If you haven't seen this movie, hit pause. Go watch the movie. Come on back. If you have seen the movie,
if you haven't seen Terminator 2, come on, guys. This movie was fucking 1991, like one of the best action films of all time. Like, I can understand
what I'm saying is there's gonna be spoilers. We're just yapping. Yeah, we're just yapping about the movie. So there will be spoilers. So hashtag enjoy the hang, man. It's just a fun hang. So basically, Terminator 1. It's about Sarah Connor. Her kid is going to save the world because when the machines, AI gets smart, they're going to rule the world. So in the first one, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a Terminator trying to kill her. In this one, it's kind of the same premise, but her kid is actually born now. Where the first one they were trying to kill her so she couldn't give birth to her son John Connor. But this one, she actually has her kid. So a Terminator is sent back to kill John. And then another Terminator is sent back to protect John, right? And now this is one, he looks like the bad fucking Terminator from the first one, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who the Terminator keeps getting older. How's that happen? And so they just fucking, and they do that. So and so this movie, they're trying to keep John Connor alive. And that's pretty much the basis of the movie. What I thought was funny was talking to Bone, because he was like, I thought it was a good twist. And I was like, what? Because, and I love Bone, but I was like, you're fucking crazy. Because he's like, well, what if someone didn't know and they thought like the first one, it's a twist that like he's the good guy. I'm like, no one's seen the trailer for this movie.
Trailers were not as prominent. Like, so you know what you don't understand? It's not like you could just jump on YouTube in 1991 and watch the new trailers. They weren't going to come on Facebook. That wasn't a thing. So unless you went to the theater and saw it, like, even the television commercials, people just missed that shit. Like, they weren't as prevalent. So there was lots of people that went and saw this movie, probably, and didn't know that he was going to be the good guy. And I also
totally
think that
disagree with
trailers.
that.
I also think that trailers weren't as revealing. Like trailers now give you everything about the movie. There's a million leaks on X and Facebook and Instagram and behind the scenes stuff. Back then, you got like maybe a trailer, and besides that, you might see it on TV. If you went to the movies, you might see it, but they weren't even that revealing. It didn't even give all like the best parts anymore. So
I don't
that's
know, kid.
like,
I watched
it
it.
was
I
different.
gotta tell you, I strongly disagree because I remember watching as a kid, seeing the trailer, and then you realize that he was the good guy, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool."
You
They
disagree
switched
with
it
me?
around.
That's a fucking shocker. I could tell this kid like it's raining out. Like, no, it's not. It's raining. It's just fire. It's just blazing fire out there. I'm like, no, dude, it's rain. I would have to disagree with you.
Looks like I'm gonna have to stop staying at Bones. Getting back to when we were kids, fighting over what shirt we were gonna wear going to school, and but this movie, like, it was. I don't know, man. It was like I think it hits a little different as an adult because I remember watching it, and I'll give my review at the end, of course, how many dog licks I'm gonna give it, but it just seems so fucking long as an adult. Like as a kid, you'll watch a movie, doesn't matter, but as an adult, I find myself, if I gotta watch even a regular movie, I'm falling a fucking sleep through it. Like I can't get through the whole movie ever. Like it's a whole sitting of a movie. And
You
like
can't get through a conversation without falling asleep, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I got diabetes. And,
like seriously, like I'm talking to him and he doesn't answer me, and I look over and he's fucking tumbling towers over here. It's fucking. He's like he passes out like sitting straight up and then tumbles, like leans forward, leans back, leans left. Right. It's like if you're watching a homeless guy nod off after a junk spray from his fucking from a needle. Like it's crazy.
It's life. And
But I do agree, like, you can't start a movie as late as you used to, right? Like, it's like, oh, it's 7:30. I can't watch a movie now. I gotta get up for work in the morning. Like,
I'm gonna finish this movie. By the time it's done, it's fucking so late. Yeah, because
this is a long movie. It is a very long movie.
As soon as it hits midnight, you go. That's 5 hours left. And yeah, dude, fucking crazy long. Like I don't know. As a kid, it didn't seem like anything. You always want more movie, and it didn't seem as long. But you're just like this movie. As I'm watching it as an adult, I'm like, this is such a fucking long movie. And I was like, they need to really edit this fucking movie a little better because like I want it shorter. And I just thought
I disagree, but
what? And
it's a long movie, but I think it's a really good movie. So
it was okay compared to when I was a kid. Like I really think I enjoyed it much more as a kid. But like I feel the special effects were pretty decent. Like there were some that didn't hold up, like the lasers in the beginning of the movie, like do 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 do, like those, like.
And it's not that bad. Like it's not great, but but the part. Did you guys notice the part where they're in the car, they steal the car and they're driving down the road just after like the other Terminator holds on and they shake him off, and then they're driving further along. It's like something I drew with my left hand. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, that makes no sense. It's like they're chitty chitty bang banging it. Chitty chitty bang bang. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, what the fuck?
You can almost see the car on tilts in like a movie theater, in like a freaking in a stage room, like where they're just in the car on set and they're moving it, and then they got like a fake old movie from the 1950s playing in the background.
Yes. I'm like, what the fuck? But like for the time, especially the time, I remember this being a big deal. Like the special effects they used, it does look pretty good. I mean, even the molten metal guy there, like even that doesn't look that hokey. That still looks pretty damn good. And
yes.
And you know the guy that gets the coffee. You know the guy that getting the coffee, and then he because the other Terminator's in the floor, and he comes up behind him.
Yeah.
And he gets him through the eye. But I remember reading somewhere that actually my husband was talking about it too. That they're twins in real life. They didn't you know what I mean? They use like movie magic. Yeah.
I think I read that before too. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway.
Oh man, those brothers should really fucking go to Comic-Con or something. Really really get double teamed by the Terminator 2 guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my
oh
god.
man, like yeah, should really put their money where their mouth is. And
The other part that I never really like picked up on until this time around, when she breaks out of the asylum or whatever, and there's the creepy guy that licks her face, the guy with the really thick glasses.
How do I get that job?
Yeah. And she gets the mop, the broom handle there from the mop, and she like the way she hits him in the face, his nose like explodes, like it's like boom, and the noise it makes. And I'm like, oh. And I was watching it, and my husband was watching with me, and I'm like, oh, I love that for her. Like, imagine how good that would feel. Like, if you had this freaking jackass that's like tying you to a bed, and you can't, nothing you could do about it, and then you just get to smash him in the face. God, that must have felt great.
He fingered her pussy from time to time, right? Like if he's licking her face there, like shit, kicking her around. He's feeling up her tits and her puss and stuff. You know
and
what I mean?
That's the craziness of people that take care of people in like old age homes or mental institutions.
Crazy.
They just abuse that situation like that.
Yeah.
Like when they're going to give her the pills towards the beginning, and they just like beat the shit out of her, hit her with like the nightstick and kick her and shove the pills down her throat. It's just like, it's fucking horrible. Like, you should get terminated.
Yes, terminate them.
Oh, very nice pun. And I agree. Like people like that, like you're like, what are you doing? Like, there was someone who was like, someone was telling me a story, and you can't get too deep into it, but someone worked at an old age home, right? And when the fucking old guys would get horny, she'd take out a metal spoon and just whack their dick with it, and then be like, get down, and they'd be like, what the fuck? Why would you?
I've heard that too. Like they give them a sponge bath, and then and they would tell them, well, if they get excited, like their dick comes up, just take a spoon and whack it on the tip.
Like whack their dick
with a really long time ago. Hopefully they don't do that anymore. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Get the thing you mash potatoes with. Goodbye, old man dick.
Oh my god. Did you notice in this movie though, like the boy John Connor, what like a girl he sounds like such a whiny girl. And I'm like, and I mean I knew he sounded like a little boy before, but like this really like wow, he was really a whiny little girl. And then his
what a squeaker. Yeah.
A red-haired kid with the cheesy mullet. I'm like, oh my god. And then they're on the bike and he's like, yeah, and he like pumps his fist. I'm like, there's no fist pumping right now. Like this is not okay.
I hope someone puts a fucking stick in your front wheel, bitch. Fuck. It's Budnick, right? From fucking Salute Your Shores, isn't he? Remember that show, Salute Your Shores?
Yes, I'm pretty sure, yes.
Yeah.
And then the mom, the lady that plays the stepmom is from Aliens.
Yes, she is. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's another phenomenal film. Someday we'll watch that, I think.
Yes.
Game over, man.
I even like the part, like, I know it's cheesy, and I know they were using it for marketing, like Guns N' Roses, because he has the gun inside the Roses. But even watching it now, I'm like, they did a great job with that part of the movie. Like, I think of how much Pepsi must have paid to have their machine in the background. I thought of that too, but anyway. But
that is
at the time.
We're so excited, all of us. We can't. Go ahead, Mo.
I was gonna say, at the time, Arnold Schwarzenegger's favorite band was Guns N' Roses, so he asked specifically Guns N' Roses to write a song that they could put in the movie, and "You Could Be Mine" was the song they chose. And yeah, like Slopdog said, when he had the guns in the Roses box, like it was supposed to all symbolize that, and I thought that was a really good, awesome tie-in.
Yeah,
dude, the way, like you guys said, like that was a dick hard moment because fucking just the way he walks, the music, the slow, the fucking guns, the roses coming out of the boxes, you pull out the gun from the box of roses, and then the walking, and he's scared. Dude, like great, and like this movie did have some really good parts, like like I was saying, like I wasn't saying it was bad, like for the most part, I agree. The special effects did hold up. Yeah. I just thought the beginning with the lasers and that car, the background of the car, didn't really hold up. But the T-1000 really held up. Like, and I love that. I love the bloop bloop sound. The bloop bloop when like he pulls stuff out of himself. Fucking want a bloop bloop on the floor. And fucking the only thing is though, I just like my cum doesn't go into my foot. I just gotta sop it up with my sock. but the same thing. And I feel like a T1000 growing up. That's who I was. Fucking cum socks. And but anyway, I love like the part where he gets fucking frozen. Like with the nitrous, like the wall, I forgot what it's called, nitrous ox, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Anyway, it freezes him, and then like he's like breaking apart, and you're like, what the fuck? And then he explodes. Hasta la vista, baby. Explodes him, and then he gets heated up, and then he molts together. Like
it's like bloop bloop bloop.
oh my fucking god, satisfying something about that. Like that's like a satisfying video you'd watch on TV or YouTube.
Like just before that happens, when they all like break into like this, I don't know, warehouse where they're making stuff, I guess,
full of hot metal. Yeah.
There's like all these guys working there. All of a sudden, like this, they see the truck explode, right? And the guy yells, "Get the hell out of here!" And they all start running. And there's a guy who runs and he like whacks a button like on the control panel, and it's like whoop whoop whoop, and they all run. And I'm like, is that like the "get the hell out of here" button? Is there like a button for that? Like,
that's like shit's going down.
I don't know.
And is that a real factor? Like I'm not manly. I've never really had too manly of a job. I guess apparently there's a factory you just work with melting metal all day. Like are they forming shit out of the metal?
They're smelting.
Excuse me. God bless you. I don't know what.
It's they're just melting, making liquid metal into forging it into other things, whatever they were making there. But that's what they do, to mold it. So it looks like a real factory to me.
Absolutely. But it just
pardon me. I don't know. Pardon me. I don't know. I was like, is this a real thing they just make it for the movie?
Remember when Goldmember lost his dick in a smelting accident? That's what happened.
The Terminator 2, he said. Did they say that? I don't know.
No. And I would say Robert Patrick, who plays T-1000, he did a phenomenal job in this movie. I love him as an actor. I've loved, even like recently, the last thing I saw him in, he was in
Your Dreams.
No, Peacemaker, the TV show on HBO, which is phenomenal. He played his dad.
Okay.
And he just did an act. Did you guys see Peacemaker?
I did.
No.
Oh my God,
he'd want to.
So fucking funny, but he plays his like redneck racist dad, and it's super funny. I highly recommend it. Remember in Wayne's World tie-in when he gets pulled over by the T-1000?
Oh
yes,
and he's like, he tries
dude, great. For one, it wasn't Slopdog or me bringing up Wayne's World. It was Bo this time. Holy shit! And we'll have to watch Wayne's World one time. And, Wayne's World are friends.
Yes. The part that I thought was really cool was when he cuts his arm to show, like, the metal underneath when he's showing the was it Simon? What's his name? The guy that
Miles, was it Miles? Not Miles Davis. What was it?
But anyway, that guy. So that guy, so they can show him that he's like a Terminator, right? And I'm like, wow, like that really stood like the test of time. Like it looks real. Like they did a really good job with that. Like his arm. Like I don't know. I just think it looks pretty cool how they did it. They did a good job,
dude. They did so for the most part, pretty good. Like when I keep going back to him because I love the character of the T-1000. The bullet holes that go through him, they shoot him when they put the like exploding bullet in him at the end, and he like kind of breaks apart. He's like, kind of looks like the Thing from that movie. The Thing kind of looks and he's just like all, oh man, so good. Like when they cuts him in half with the bar and then pulls it out of himself. Boop. But that Miles guy, like when he's dying, like did you see that meme? Like it makes me laugh so hard. Where it's like it's got the meme of Miles, and it's like when a girl's riding you reverse cowboy style, and he's like, hey, 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 and then he lets it go, and it's like kaboom! I'm like, oh yeah, I've been there, and woo, clean up aisle this girl's puss. And then what really it made me laugh too, because it's not funny, but like she's getting interviewed for a thing and they're watching her tape when she's in the asylum, and she's like, anybody who doesn't have multi layers of sunblock is really gonna have a really bad day. Get it? Like just so like
over the
crazy
top.
Over the top. I was talking to Bo. I was like, that's like a crazy. I was like, and then I remember saying to Bo, his eyes got so big. I don't know if it's ever happened, but I was just like, that's like a bitch that's like, like gonna show up at your work, crazy bitch. Like, I'm gonna ruin your fucking day. I'm gonna show up at your work. Get it? And you're just like, what the fuck, bitch? And then like you're like, so that made me think the way Bone's eyes were. Bone, did you ever have a bitch crazy enough because of your sweet dick that she's like, I'm gonna show up at your motherfucking work and ruin your day? Did that ever happen to you?
No, thank God. Thank
like,
God. Oh my God.
That woman looks like she could be like she's a bad Tinder date. Like she would just like she'd be coming for you.
Slopdog, have you ever had such crazy dick that drove you so crazy? Would you ever show up at someone's work to ruin their day?
I would not. I'm not Sarah Connor.
Dude, that's a special kind of like
kind of
cuckoo
crazy.
bird.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But also, like, her job was to protect her son. Why would you be ranting at psychiatrists and stuff about the end of the world? Like, you obviously are going to look crazy. What you want to do is, shit, I got arrested because I broke the law. And just try to play ball to get out to see to help your son. Because you're sitting there ranting about the end of the world and you're all dead anyway.
I know.
Why are you keeping me in here now? It's like, what? You're nuts.
I mean, maybe she just kind of lost it too. Like, she's a crazy bitch. I agree. But like, I like the part in the beginning too. Like, I know I can't get over this kid, like, because he's so whiny and whatever. But how he says to the stepdad or not stepdad, the foster dad or whatever, and he's like, oh, maybe you should listen to your dad. Something about maybe you should listen to your mom.
Get in there and listen to your mom.
She's not my mom, Todd. Like the way he said it, and then they go off on their little homo bike.
You know, a Brokeback Mountain ride to this fucking ATM machine.
That reminded me of something from was it Christmas Vacation? It was like, well, something came in the window, broke the window. Something broke the stereo. Todd.
Why is the
I don't know,
Margo.
Oh my God! I was trying to think when you said that my mother Todd. I was like, how does that sound like something? Dude, you fucking nailed it. It sounds exactly like that. I don't know. Something had to break the window.
Bellissimo.
I don't know, Margo. And oh my God, what a hateful assholes. And I remember this movie, loving it as a kid, and I would always get like movies, like posters from like the same video store, right? And they had that big. Do you remember something? Do you remember that big cardboard stand-up with glowing eyes?
Oh yeah,
dude! I remember wanting it and be like, "Can I have that?" Because you could put your name on like posters or cardboard stand-ups. If you were a loser like me, you like would go in every day and try and harass these fucking pork people. And they were just like, "No, we're not getting rid of it." Someone offered us like a couple $1,000 for it, and it just was so cool. And they're like, nah, we're going to keep it. So it just stayed in the store forever. But then I remember, like, towards the days of this video stores going shithouse, it being, like, folded up and kind of put in the window. And it got all sun-worn and shit. And it just made me so sad. So I went there and ruined her life. And, no, not on purpose, but I did a classic Chowder where I went in there and I was like, yeah, I used to come here all the time as a kid. And, I would, talking that the owner's girlfriend would work here, and she's like, I'm the owner's wife. And I go, maybe like, before he was married. She's like, I've been married the whole time the store's been open. I go, all right. I basically told this lady,
that's about right.
Her fucking husband was fucking young cashiers the whole time this place is open. Oopsies. As I leave the store, I just hear a gunshot. Puts a little more color on the Terminator thing.
I remember that cutout though. Like I remember like looking and seeing how cool it looked, and that was the cool thing about going to like the video store. Like,
where would it have gone in our apartment too? Anyway,
what? Oh my God, that would have took up half our apartment. But it was just so cool, and I still remember the smells and the feel of the videotapes and stuff all in the racks. And like just like how it looked walking in to the left, there was instantly all the video games. Like I remember looking to see if Maniac Mansion or Romance of the Three Kingdoms is there every time.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting hard. Oh fuck me. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, I'm getting hard. I don't know what I'm saying. And I'm getting hard in my fucking phone. Getting hard. Get it? And she was like, he's like, she spent her whole life just getting in these horrible relationships with these like ex-veterans, but they could teach her stuff, but they just fucking plow her puss out, and she just took the dick so she could teach her kid all this stuff. Do you think she hated Veterans Day? She's like, I gave enough to the veterans. Fuck this day.
What the fuck?
And then she's like yelling in their face, "You're all gonna burn! You're gonna have a really bad day."
Like she doesn't realize like now they're gonna burn from the gonorrhea. She's getting fucked by all these people fresh out of war who fucking got gonorrhea from fucking old whores in Vietnam. And
this is dumb. The part that bothers me about her is like she just goes like blazing, like she just keeps shooting at this poor guy, the guy that doesn't even know that he invented the thing that killed everybody, right?
Oh, so Miles Dyson.
Okay, so then his family is there, and she's still like a freaking nut job. So they finally get her to chill out so they can talk to them. And she's still sitting at the counter, and she's like all shaky, and she's like smoking cigarettes, and she's like, "Well, what about this and stuff?" And it's like, would you shut up, you fucking crack whore? Like nobody wants to hear it. Like,
yeah, she seems like she's strung out. Like that's what I would have thought. Is like this fucking junkie's trying to fucking kill me for $5.
Like, settle down, Bethany. We don't want to hear it. Jesus.
Dude, she's totally like when you get a phone call. Like a doctor's office gets a phone call or something, or like anywhere gets a phone call, and the husband's on the phone, and you hear that ratty wife in the background. Tell them they fucking overcharged us. You know what I mean? Tell them they're fucking assholes. Like that whole. Yeah. If anybody who's ever worked in customer service, I've heard that 1,000 times in the background. Yeah. Tell them fucking they did like just some ratty bitch in the back. You're like, shut the fuck up. Hey, pardon me, would you shut your crack whore wife up? I can't. I'm trying to talk to you about something.
Could you just please punch her in the mouth? Thank
you. Knock out the other 4 teeth this bitch has, and make her go night night for a bit.
See what you get, warrior. Oh,
fuck you, bitch. And I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, how he fucking like learned in this movie. Like they made him like learn was like adorable. I don't know if that's a fucking wrong word to use, but I just like how he's like, he'll live and like, hasta la vista, baby, or like he that finds the keys after he teaches him for the keys. Like he's like learning. And I'm like, this is fucking adorable. He's like a child learning, And
when they were like the part where he picks up the toddler, the little boy in the overalls, like when they're in the desert, he like looks at him like, what the hell is this thing? I don't know. It just like it's like kind of endearing.
Yes.
John was teaching him how to smile. I didn't remember that part being in the movie. Like that felt like a whole new scene for me.
I feel like what?
Do you remember that part, Slopdog? I don't remember that either.
I didn't remember that until I watched it this time, and I was like, oh yeah. But that's weird. It's just kind of weird.
I almost felt like it was cut out and re-added because I do not remember that from the original film.
Maybe it's like what is that, the Mandela effect or whatever? Maybe it's part of that. Ooh.
Time warp. Speaking of time warps,
time warp. You get it?
So in the first movie, they sent the Terminator to kill Sarah Connor before John was born.
Yeah.
But John was only born because Kyle, who was John's best friend, came back in time to save him and impregnated Sarah to make John. So therefore, John grows up, was born, John grows up and sends back Kyle, who ends up impregnating his mom to create John. But even at that, so that's just it's a perpetual time loop, but it would have had to happen for the first time. But it could never have, because John would have never existed to send him back to impregnate her. So there's no way that there's no start to that loop.
Yeah, they kind of missed something there.
Hey, you want to go back and fuck my mom and make me?
Like, thanks, Dad. Like, what'd you say? I mean, Kyle.
Yeah.
He just high fives you and jumps through the time warp.
I wonder if he knows Kyle's his dad.
What's that?
I think he says it in this movie.
Does he say that he knows Kyle's his dad?
Yeah, I mean, does Kyle know he's his dad, though?
I don't think Kyle knows.
Right.
Because then it might have fucked up the time loop. You know you're gonna create your best friend, so you're fucking his mom, and it's just kind of weird. And you just you get like whiskey dick, and you can't fucking do it.
Right.
But then Kyle can't. He doesn't. He dies, right? He can't go. He doesn't go back.
No, yeah. So Kyle dies and never goes back.
So he has no idea that he's his dad.
John would have to tell him in the future, but I don't think John ever did.
Because there's no way for John. Jesus Christ! It doesn't work. You're right.
There would have had to have been a start to the loop, and there's no way Kyle would have come back in the first place.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, but it's still a fun movie to watch.
Man, you just Groundhog Day this on this one. And
yeah, well, because
this is what I'm talking about, man.
John was never created to send Kyle back because there was no one that because Kyle never fucked his mom.
You fucked my mom? You fucked my mom, Santa. Bites his throat out.
And Edward Furlong, that guy became such a fucking mess. I remember back in the day listening to WAAF, and they were interviewing his girlfriend at the time, Jolene Blaylock. I don't know if you guys know who Jolene Blaylock is. Super hot. She was like regular clothes and stuff. She's very attractive. She was Paul in Star Trek Enterprise, and she was like one of my fantasy, thought one of the most hottest fantasy girls of all time. No emotions, fucking Vulcan. Super hot. But anyway.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But anyway, they were interviewing her, and he was in the background, and all of a sudden he's like, "Who the fuck are you on the phone with?" And they're like, "Whoa, who's that? Is that your boyfriend, Edward Furlong?" And he's just like, he's like, "Fuck you, who are you?" It's trash. And then he was like going off. It was fucking funny as shit.
He was singing Girls on Film. Girls on Film. Like that I forgot the Duran song. And I remember that, and I remember like, holy fuck, Furlong's fucked up. And then yeah, God bless him. And I don't know, I hope he gets back on his feet. I think he's acting again. I don't know. He's going to convention. And
needs booze money.
God, Jesus Christmas, kid. And oh boy.
I like you, Furlong. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. You're a very funny guy.
I think he was supposed to do T3, and they gave him we're giving him, I think, a shitload of money. But he had to stay clean, and then he fucked it up. He got he's like, I'm gonna go out for the weekend and have fun, because he was just excited about how his life was going, and then he drank, and then lost Terminator 3, I think, and lost all that money. That's why he wasn't in the franchise anymore, because he. Someone's alive. Jesus Christ!
Wasn't he in Pet Sematary 2 as well?
He was in
Pet Sematary 2.
Oh. I hope he has a better haircut.
He had mommy issues in that movie, too.
Jesus, that's his thing. And, besides mommy issues, it was sad when the Terminator, had to kill himself, his thumb, in the water, going down. Didn't he leave his arm in that machine, though?
Yes.
So, isn't it kind of now it's going to start all over again because someone's going to find a metal robot arm in the fucking machine?
I know there's a third one that I didn't see, but I did see the fourth one, or what would be considered the fourth one, which was, I don't even think it makes sense to the timeline whatsoever. I'm trying to remember. I just remember it's a lot of action and it's kind of fun, so I liked it, but I don't think it makes any sense to anything.
Did they mention the arm in the machine?
I don't think they do, because Sarah Connor's in it, but somehow John dies. She talks about at some point that John, one of the robots comes back and does kill John at some point, but I don't remember what, you know what I mean? What else is happening in the movie. I only watched it once, and then she's like, "Oh, I have an old friend," and she goes and finds, Terminator again, and he's living out in the woods, living his best life kind of thing, and then he helps her defeat whatever the last enemy is. I don't remember what it is anymore, but there's lots of guns and explosion, and it's one of those.
An old robot living in the desert?
What's that?
Is it an old robot in the desert?
No, he's living his best life, old robot, out out in the woods, all by himself.
Is that the one with Khaleesi from Game of Thrones? Was Sarah Connor?
Maybe. I'm not. I can't. I thought it was her though. I think it is.
Or is Sarah
same
Sarah
actor?
Connor? There's one where there's like Khaleesi as like the girl who plays Khaleesi is Sarah Connor. There's one with that doesn't have them at all in it, and it has Christian Bale in it.
Yeah,
Terminator Salvation.
that's like a weird one. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
like number 3. So maybe this is the one.
No, there's
whatever the last one was that just came out. Maybe it's 5. Maybe there's 2 of them in between. I never watched because I know they don't make.
Number 3 has the girl Terminator with the red suit.
Jesus.
And that's the one where it really ends and the world, like the world ends. Judgment Day actually happens.
Whoa, that's rough. Didn't they make a show for a while with a girl, right? Or no?
I think there might have been.
And now that I say that, I think there was
Lots
like a
of
Terminator. Yeah,
I
there was
think
like a Terminator movie, like a TV show, and I think it was a girl. I think she was
I think Brian Austin Green was in it, man, from 90210.
Whoa, because he was hot stuff.
Jesus. You just basically called me a fag. How dare you? And you're like, whoa, that's a deep pull, you fucking Fruit Loop bastard.
So there's Terminator 1984, Terminator 2 1991, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines 2003, Terminator Salvation 2009, Terminator Genesis 2015.
I think after 2 they go shit.
And I think that's the one with Khaleesi. And then you're talking about Terminator Dark Fate, which was 2019.
Oh, Jesus, I didn't realize there was so many in between. I've only seen
Terminate
1 and 2,
this franchise.
and then I saw,
fuck that. Ugh.
And then I saw the very last one. So I knew there was stuff in the middle, but I never watched any of that. So.
Ugh. Yeah, shit's in the middle of my ass.
Terminator 7 is in early development.
Please never again. Listen, there's no need for it unless you're like kind of revamping it maybe, and they're going to start and make it all make sense. Instead of random just franchises, you throw Schwarzenegger in, and then have to explain why he's old now? I don't know. Fuck this. All right, I'm going to give my review and how many dog dicks I give this fucking movie. So, like, as I said, it seemed much longer watching it this time around. Still not bad, but, like, as a kid, I remember this being phenomenal. Like, the Terminator 2 is so fucking good. And now I watch it and I go, it's not bad. And so, I mean, all said and done, I would give Terminator 2 3 dog dicks and a tip. Bone, what say you?
Wow, I didn't expect you to give it that low. I actually really enjoyed this film. I think it's one of the few film franchises where the sequel, Part 2, is probably better than the first one. I'd have to go back and watch the first one again, though, because it's been real fucking long time since I watched the first Terminator. I remember the first Terminator being a phenomenal film as well. So they were very close. But the score for this one, the soundtrack, the dialogue, the story arc, like, it's just all really good. The acting, it's action-packed. It's everything you expect. Schwarzenegger kicking fucking ass, minigun, fucking crashing helicopters, that fucking driving into that pickup truck that only went 63 miles an hour, which I've never known of any car to go only 63 miles an hour. This is the vehicle's max speed. It's like 63! But anyway, it's a phenomenal
Let's hop on your back,
T1000.
robot, run faster.
I loved this film. It was a super long movie, but I loved every minute. I'm going to give it 5 dog dicks. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Slopdog, what say you?
Well, I did enjoy watching this again. I haven't watched it in quite a few years. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the favorite. He's always, he's always cool. Even in the very beginning, right, when he's naked and he goes into the biker bar and they play Bad to the Bone, like towards the end of it, and he leaves. Like any other, I would be like, that's so lame. Why did they play that? Like, I'm embarrassed for them, kind of thing. But like, only Arnold can pull it off, and you still feel like, yeah, Arnold's gonna go kick ass, right? Like he's just a kick ass guy. So, but there are parts in it that are kind of cheesy, like we were talking about, like the wonky chitty chitty bang bang part in the car. But anyway, but overall, it really stands up. They did a great job with a lot of the effects in this. Like I give them a lot of credit. Like it really is. It still stands up. I think the kid's a bit of a wuss, though. I wish they made him more like.
Just say fag and get it out of your mouth. Come on now.
Really are a twat.
Sucking dick and squealing.
I guess that's the right word. He's a little twat with his hair, with his like longer hair on one side. He keeps having to flip it and try to be cool. He's not cool. So anyway, But so I like this movie overall. So I'm gonna give it four dog dicks and a tip.
4 dog dicks and a tip, right? How is this guy saving the world? What a bitch, right? Yeah. And,
Yeah, I don't believe it.
this is a scam. The crazy mother's going to save the world, not you. And
All right, I'm more afraid of her.
but what's this film got for the dicks and dog?
So we give this dog dick 4 dicks and a poke. Not quite a tip, but it's getting there. Slopdog, Chowder tanked our movie with 3.5 for an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Boo this man!
Ooh, how dare you?
Boo you, this movie's too fucking long. Get the fuck out of here. Ugh, so long. Anyway.
If it had boobies in it, you would have been like, best movie ever. They just needed a boob. They didn't have a boob scene. That's what's missing from this.
You want to see Sarah Connor's crazy tits?
Oh
Get
my god!
out of here.
It's
Flip
like
the
a nipple
dog
on her
over.
I bet they're
forehead.
very angry tits.
Oh.
They're always pointy and looking right at you.
She puts she puts her own cigarettes out of her own tits.
Oh, right on the nipple.
Yeah. She's like, it doesn't matter. We're all dead anyway. Yeah. Ashtrays or nipples. Ugh, gross.
Oh. Let me give it what the other critics thought of this, because I guess we're a critic now. IMDb gave it an 8.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it 91%. Audience gave it 95. Common Sense gave it 4 out of 5. Google users gave it 4.9 out of 5. Metacritic gave it 9.1 out of 10, and Letterboxd users gave it 4.3 out of 5.
I guess it gets pretty high. Yeah. High reviews
Overall,
from people.
A loved film. It was released July 3rd, 1991. The budget was $100 million fucking dollars.
Yikes.
And it made over $520 million.
Wow. The one part they didn't spend the money on, though, was that part in the car.
Yeah. Like, we'll cut that out. That'll be fine. So check us out, folks, man. My own personal jazz, and I like to do stupid comedy or music or whatever. So I started, P1I Poo Club. And now we have this fucking beautiful podcast called Tasteless Adjacent, which you can now check out on, if you go to p1ipoo.club, it's going to bring you right to our to the YouTube page. And it's not just about me there. Now it's pretty much just for the podcast is up there every week. You can check out videos on YouTube there. Bone, and then you can find anything I'm doing, and also promoting this podcast at P1IPoo on both X and Instagram. But we're talking about fucking some Tasteless Adjacent jazz. But where can they hear this podcast? What social media do we got for this podcast?
Well, friends, you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We're there. We leave updates and previews of what we're going to do. Leave some memes up there. We also check us out on Apple, Spotify. We're on all major podcast platforms, Audible, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Slopdog.
So I know we said it before, but we'll say it again. We would love to hear your comments. Please give us a comment, give us a like, give us whatever you think. If you hate Terminator 2, tell us you hate Terminator 2. If you love it, if you think that little kid's a twat, tell us. How many dog dicks do you give it? Give us ideas. Any movies you want us to review, we'd love to see them. All right,
That's
Chowder.
right, motherfuckers. You say night, Chowder?
I think you fell asleep. You just didn't start talking.
I thought my phone was cutting. I got the sleepies, man. I get tie-tie. And, oh, man. Anywho. Well, on that, folks, stick around. We'll be back next week with another classic gem. We'll see what's going on. Prayer of the Roller Boys is coming down the pike, folks. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but I don't know if it's next or not, but good God. Prayer of the Roller Boys, right, guys?
Say a prayer. It's coming.
You better say a prayer, boy, because it's coming. And, so saith the shepherd, so saith the flock. Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I knew it! I fucking knew it!
He'll live.
What are you, some kind of dog, Dick? Dick.
Not my mother, Todd. You could be my... Yeah!
The way they passed by on the bike, though, it's like, yay! Like, you just hear this, like, it just made me laugh, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
And Schwarzenegger just happened to be driving by.
Yes, and he's like, did you see him turn his head? Like, what?
Like, this boy
That's
is
what
the
I
only
have-
one listens to Guns N' Roses.
God, why do I have to protect this kid? Really? This is the kid?
Oh, Jesus. I'll take even the redhead kid over this kid.
And notice how his name is John, and it just kind of made me laugh, and all I could think of was, oh, John.
John, you're kind of whiny, John. Oh, Gabe Bennett. And,
I know, we gotta do, like, well, now, we
Terminate
don't
that
want to
ass, Bennett.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
you could be mine.
But
Jesus Christ. What was that?
Wow. I think you should do it by yourself.
It's us all
Why don't we
singing
just do
song.
the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun? Dun-dun-dun.
But we can just do that. You ready, Chowder?
Did he fall asleep?
How about I let you down?
Oh my
Hold on.
god.